We have suggested resolutions, so Russell, you can take it from here.
Entertain a motion to resolve that the reading of the minutes for the special meeting of the public session of November 14th, 2019 be dispensed with, and that those minutes be accepted as filed by the village administrator, and the actions taken at that meeting be and hereby are ratified and approved.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Entertain a motion to resolve that the claims for the warrants dated November 26, 2019, totaling $2,810,395.23, warrant number 9, General Fund, $763,613.55, warrant number 6, Capital Reserve Fund, $750.69, warrant number 1, Trust Fund, $1,072.29, warrant number 10, Trust and Agency, and the village payrolls for the period from October 11, 2019 to November 21 be audited and approved.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
I know. All right. We'll start with general disbursements. Atlantic Salt, Inc., $14,835.23. That's salt for the Highway Department. City Energy Services, $1,323. Light globes for street lighting. Coastal Fire Systems, $12,525.85. Rescue and safety equipment for the fire department. Rafael DeVivo, $2,457.47. Travel reimbursement for training. Furno, Washington, Inc., $1,077. Pediatric restraint system for the ambulance fund. Mobile fleet, $2,249.38. Vehicle maintenance repairs for an ambulance vehicle. Paul Murphy, $1,381.68. Reimbursement for arborist training. National Diagnosis, $16,395. Fire Department physicals. National Grid, $4,227.23. Utilities. New York Employees Retirement System, $968,844. That's the annual retirement contribution for the village. New York State Municipal Workers' Compensation Alliance, $216,878. That's one quarter's workers' comp premium. New York State Police and Firemen's Retirement System, $1,244,236. That's the annual contribution to the police retirement. Office of the State Controller, $12,599. That's the state portion of October's fines from the Justice Court. Optimum, $1,182.45. Cable and Wi-Fi expenses. PSEG Long Island, $4,316.12. That's for utilities. Revco Electrical, $1,841.27. Electrical supplies for the village. Rosemark Construction, $242,741.84. That's village-wide paving. South Fork Asphalt, $8,800. That's the final section of the Railroad Plaza Drainage Program. Southampton Car Wash, $1,011.54. Car washes for the fleet. Southampton Excavation, $3,961. That's brush and stump disposal. Sprague Operating, $5,349.97. 87 octane fuel for the fleet. Suffolk County Fire Academy, $4,261.28. That's confined space training for the fire department. Suffolk County Water Authority, $7,897.33. That's village water consumption. Thomas Goldie Electric, $1,475. Annual service for the fire department generator. Vincent Toomey, $1,961.99. Outside Labor Council. Town of Brookhaven, $2,787.48. Street sweepings disposal. Town of Southampton, $3,710.90. That's leaf and brush disposal. Vehicle tracking solutions, $1,271.47. GPS for the fleet. Verizon Wireless, $1,262.64. That's wireless service for the village. WB Mason Company, $2,040.51. That's office supplies for the village. Moving on to the November capital disbursements. All of the following bills are for the vendors at the ambulance barn. That's Central Air Corporation, $260,775. Coastal Fire Systems, $1,942.50. That actually is for a fire department capital reserve expenditure that was approved at the last board meeting. Hirsch and Company, $93,148.45. Morton Buildings, Inc., $326,725.90. Rollins Electric, Inc., $81,021.70.
Morton Buildings?
Are bills. Any questions?
Sorry, Morton Buildings, $326,000.
All of those, Morton Buildings is the general contractor for the ambulance barn. They are still within their bid amount.
Okay.
All of those vendors are the awarded contractors for the ambulance capital project, and all of those vendors are still within their bid spec.
Kind of like as a wrap it up, getting their
On
last.
which retirement plan, we do have savings because of paying that, am I correct, is that?
Yes, so on both of those, because the village has the ability to pay these prior to December 15th, as opposed to the due date of February 1st, we have a savings in excess of $20,000 by paying those invoices early. And a question that may come up later tonight, for those who remember the police negotiations, the police and fire payment is inclusive of the first installment of the past service cost of the Chapter 674 laws of the enhanced retirement system. If there are no more questions, all in favor? Entertain a motion resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the attached schedule of budget transfers to eliminate line item overages for the period ending November 26, 2019.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in,
No? Here we go. State retirement account A 9010.8, $20,645 debit. Police retirement A 9015.8 credit, $4,585. Contingency A 1990.4 credit of $16,060. Cooper's contractual services A 714,144 debit $500. Cooper's equipment A 71412 a credit of $500. All in favor?
aye.
Entertain a motion resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the equal allocation of approximately $13,000 in federal community development block grant funds to the Southampton Daycare and Heart of the Hamptons, and authorizes the mayor to execute any documentation that may be required to receive such funds.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So they split the 13, right? That's
Yep. Resolved that the Board of Trustees authorizes the compensation at a rate equal to the rate at the time of separation and travel expense reimbursement for Stephen Funch as prescribed in New York State Public Officers Law in reference to court-ordered appearances.
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Russell, prior to number 6, what is the New York State law on who puts these names forward?
What names?
The names forward for the resolution, Board of Trustees ratified members?
I believe this is a committee.
My point is, could anyone put a name forward, or does it have to come from the mayor?
I believe that the committee was organized by the Board of Trustees. I don't believe they're employees. So I think as volunteers, it would be my understanding, but we certainly could research if we want to. It's a voluntary committee that the Board of Trustees established. I'm not certain whether, just as a practical matter, not certain the Board of Trustees would want to put together an advisory committee and not have the ability to put members on it. So that, to me, would be, I won't speak for any trustees, but that would be my feeling.
Just prior to going into this, there's just one name on the Business Revitalization Committee I don't know. So I'd prefer to wait until another meeting just for one name.
Well,
Bessem, I just don't really know him. I think he's in the chamber as well. So I think we'd want to maybe give some other people an opportunity. That's my only call out.
Can we move the motion, have a second, and then have this as part of discussion? Would be probably the best protocol.
Okay, so moved.
Okay, so make a motion, resolve the Board of Trustees ratifies members to the following committees. I'll leave it there. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion.
So the reason why Bessem is on here as part of the mission of the Revitalization Committee, obviously, is not only to strengthen the village and create commerce, but it's to have a nice representation of all the critical representatives of the village, and also to engage with us when we seek grant funding for village business-related activities. And Bessem is not only a village business owner, he owns the cigar store.
Yeah.
He was designated by the Board of Directors from the Chamber of Commerce to be on our committee, so he has two roles. So my apologies for not explaining any of that to you when this name came forward. So we have representation on the Business Revitalization Committee from retail, regular retail, wet retail, Southampton Business Alliance, the chamber, and as well as areas that we wish to draw into the village, such as medical community facilities. So that's why we have Robert Ross, who represents not only the medical community, but he also represents the Southampton Business Alliance. So that's kind of where it came from. And
Got it, yeah.
But if, there's a better candidate or another candidate, obviously, everyone should weigh in.
Great store. I know has been there for years, year-round, I think mostly as well. So like that, I just, haven't had a chance really to meet him.
Okay.
And was maybe hoping to do that prior. Don't want to get too involved here, but also just wanted to make sure that that I can maybe have the opportunity just to meet him.
Okay.
Sorry to.
No, that's fine.
So do I hear a motion to?
I've got further discussion as well on, Tony came in and did a great job. Are there any limits on how many committees or boards we want people to serve on in this village? He seems to be very, he's great. I really don't have an issue. I think that being on the Clean Water Advisory is probably a perfect space for him, but he's also on one of our boards. He's on the beautification as well. Just how much time does he have? He's a business owner. He's all of it. I don't want to spread him too thin. And also then when he does come and speak to us, where is he speaking to us from? Is just one other thing. So again, I think he's wonderful. I think this is probably a perfect committee for him. I'm not opposed. I just wonder if in general we have thoughts on numbers that we might want to see people cross-represent.
Good point. My question though is who puts the name forward? Is this could anyone put the name forward, or does this go with traditional with the New York State Village law for other positions where the mayor puts the name forward and then the board gets to vote yes or no?
I believe the village
curious,
law is specific to employees, the section that we looked at, but again, I'm going to defer to council with regards to
I'll have
whether
to
or
look
not.
into it.
Yeah.
Okay. While we're on that topic, can we also look at the bylaws with regards to the role of these committees? They're advisory. Some of these committees may not know that. I think they're all terrific. But also the percent of members on the committees that are from Southampton Village. I've had a number of village residents say to me, it's great that we have this expert from XYZ, but at the end of the day, I'm the village taxpayer. Do they have how do we represent the village? So how do we get the expertise from other people, but ensure that the village taxpayer is still, their voices are heard too? Because I don't know where, I'm assuming the lion's share of these individuals live in the village, or they have a business in the village, or, they go to school in the village. I mean, something that ties them to the village. So, another little item to add. Thank you.
I haven't seen the village's bylaws, so that would be.
I think we should probably have them because
Yeah, we have.
we have
I mean,
them.
for each
Okay.
committee has a set that was adopted when the committee was adopted.
I would find it hard to
Jesse, can I ask you a
believe.
question?
Yes.
So your question is, you feel you should be the one that's putting these, you're trying to clarify that, should you be the one that's adding it rather than someone else adding it, and then we wait to approve it?
No, that was more of a question out of curiosity. I just simply had one call out here, and this just has to do with the fact that it's my understanding that there's a few business owners that were looking to have an avenue to express what they think the needs of the village is. And so I just want to make sure that, some of these members feel that this is their only avenue. And so I don't want to, I'd like to meet this really nice person prior to giving this spot away to someone that already has the opportunity to participate in the chamber. Again, he's likely a great candidate for the job, but ultimately there's so many people that want to be part of this committee because you guys have done such a great job making it so popular. I just want to make sure that all the business owners feel if they can't get a spot on the chamber, maybe they get a spot on the Business Revitalization Committee.
So I got beat up by somebody because they wanted to be on the Business Revitalization Committee, and I didn't know that. We've had this discussion now for, 2 months? We first talked about it, and we always give updates. But the fact of the matter is, to your point, in looking at other townships and municipalities, the Business Revitalization Committee is not a town hall. They do work, they represent a broad section of the village, and then they present out to the town. That's an option. But the point is, if people express a need to be on here, we do have bylaws as to the different categories. I guess I should know that too. They should probably come to one of us so we know that. We definitely want as many wonderful, good people on these committees that we can have, but I will say, you will have 10 people that will offer up an idea, and we need, to your point, a way to allow those individuals to express their needs, but that doesn't necessarily mean they can all be on the committee.
I think a good point also, if he is also the representative that
For the chamber.
for the chamber that they have put forward, that's the way for the chamber to have a voice through him, and that any of these business owners that are a member of the chamber can go talk to him and should be heard then at the business revitalization. And then lastly, because I have a feeling that committees were formed long before we were ever on the board, any 5 of us or whatever, maybe not Rich, I don't know, Rich, do you go back that far?
Back to Bill.
And, I would hope that any board that put together, like Russell said, would hope that their voice could then be heard. So that is just something that, I certainly defer and would like to see, but I would really hope that the mindset of the Board of Trustees, whenever committees were put in place, was that the board could bring it, and it wouldn't just be a single person. But again, we will wait and see what happens.
We're still looking for a representative, somebody that is a large land in the village. That's a spot we're missing. And what other spot are we missing?
The restaurant.
And we're looking for a representative who has a wet license or a
I thought we
restaurant.
had that with Dee Dee.
Well, Dee Dee has,
She's kind of two
she's,
roles.
we put her in the hospitality bucket. We could have
Let's go
her,
back. What are the buckets with this particular committee, the business, since this is?
so nothing is set in stone, obviously, we
but we've
can
been
course
trying to,
correct.
yeah, but-
But what typically are the buckets, and I don't have all my notes here, is
Kidding?
1 to 2.
Seriously, you
I
just
can
said
go
that?
get them, do you
No,
want me
that's
to
fine,
know?
no, that's fine, that's fine.
Again, as I just expressed, a couple of representatives from the retail industry, whether it be retail or wet license, the hospitality industry, because they pay a lot of taxes, just so you know, that makes up Discover Long Island and Discover the Hamptons. What else did we have? We had a medical communities that we wish to draw into the village, landlords, 1 to 2 landlords. What else did we
Business
have?
Alliance
Chamber, the local Chamber of Commerce, the Business Alliance, because the municipal requires that you have this very broad cross-section. And if you have a good candidate, we can put him on.
Well, how many
Or
members?
him, or her, or whoever.
Do we have a cap to how many members are required?
Not
Or
with the
you have
BRC.
multiple per?
Well, what
I
they
mean,
do.
how many do we have now? Are these 4 additional?
So if we have committees that are over 8 or 10 people, you're basically in a dysfunctional, I mean, board
right. No,
of
you're right, you're right.
directors are usually,
right.
and they're very agenda-focused with lots of
So I got you, so we
firing power.
have, there's 3, are these additions, or who's on it currently?
These are.
I think we're at 8 or 9 now, right?
These are additions.
And they've already been.
These are the new additions.
He's got it.
There are, this would add and would make 7.
Yeah, I think we're at 7 or 8.
Right.
This would make 7, this would make 7 to it. I know that there were more people because when I attended the meeting the day before of kind of the Southampton Arts, they were very interested in kind of how to rebrand, how to kind of come up with, and what's going on in the village. And it sounded like there was a lot of overlap coming out of their meeting and rebranding and what you are doing. And so when I reached out to you, you mentioned you had a meeting, so I did forward it to all of the people that were at the meeting, just saying if anyone can attend on such short notice. And I believe a couple of people showed up. How they meld or mesh or whatever, I don't know. But it was nice of you to at least invite them for an exploratory conversation.
You helped us out because another area, and that's the one we forgot to mention, is our cultural, whatever you call it, our arts and cultural institutions across the village, and it's done on a rotating basis. So thank you very much. They were fabulous, and they've already worked it out, and they've got their little queue, and they're going to represent, whoever attends will communicate with all of their colleagues in the arts and community, arts and cultural community.
So do we need to add a placeholder then? Would that need to be a placeholder on the Business Revitalization Committee that one of our arts and cultural institutions will be attending on a rotating basis, similar to what we have on the SURF Committee? So should that be
that on
added
there
to the... Should that be added to the resolution tonight? Then if we are
That's a good
doing
point.
this?
Yeah.
So that as we have on the SURF committee, we have on a rotating basis SURF school representatives, and we have a list of X number of names, that we do then the same on the business revitalization. We have on a rotating basis culture, whatever, museums, culture, and
Arts and
then
cultural
and then
institutions, right. Mhm.
yeah, and then put down a list of the people that we know will rotate through. So yeah.
Again, we're thrilled that everybody has raised their hand. We don't want to keep anyone out. If anyone's, raising their hand.
Can I just add one thing?
Yes.
I think we look at each one of these committees, clean water, surf, business, diversity. There are people that are going to want to be on this, but I think we've put some trust in each one of these board members to say, these are the people that we have talked to, these are the people that have reached out. So I think we have to go with that, rather than trying to micromanage all this other stuff. I think it's important that the board have a little trust in each other, and just, I think we got some really good people on these boards, so I think we go with it and just stop trying to get into the small little details of this. And that's coming from my opinion, from what I've been sitting on with some of these committees already.
Well said. It's a good point. Again, I only have one call out here simply because, and this is a situation that many members of our community have brought to my attention, and I'll happily say it here. There is I know that various members of our community, and it's a separate organization, but they want to get on the board or they want to participate in the chamber, and for whatever reason, they're not able to.
Oh, the chamber or the...
Or the business
No,
revitalization.
well, both, but specifically the chamber.
Okay.
And so in this particular situation, why use this one valuable spot on somebody from the chamber when many of our business owners are saying, I want to be part of the chamber, but I can't be? And so, well, that's a different question to be explored. But my point is, why are we adding, we have these valuable slots here, why are we adding someone from the chamber, when, in fact, I don't think that Dee Dee's in the chamber, I don't think that Sharon's in the chamber, but these are business owners, year-round business owners, that for whatever reason are not part of the chamber. And so why are we adding a member of the chamber when we want to give more voices, more people to be heard? Now, I do think, Trustee Pearl, that's a great point, that you might want to have a representative so they can actually communicate with that representative. So I like that point. But I'm just wanted to bring that up as to, there's interest, because it's just my understanding, as mayor, a lot of people come to me and they've expressed some frustration that they want to be part of a chamber. It's a great organization, and they're having issues getting to be part of that organization.
So
I think
I'm
since they're
looking,
landlords,
Well, at least, thank you for
Well,
explaining your
yeah,
rationale behind
yeah,
that, because that
they're
explains
their
what you...
landlords.
Yeah, I didn't
Be able to
know
look at their bylaws and.
we have our mission statement for this team, which everyone is welcome to look at. We have it in our minutes, and they're popped up, right, from our first meeting? Not our second yet, because we're still writing the minutes. But from our first meeting, we, no, I think we listed out in all of our materials, where the different entities, different areas that should be represented. The Chamber of Commerce is universally represented in every one of these, in every business revitalization committee across every single one I saw. Again, they represent the town, and there's 3 or 4 chambers in the town. There's one in Sag and one in West Hampton, and they all talk to each other. I can't weigh in on the chamber, but I understand your point. But Bessem's representing the chamber. Why don't we revisit this again at a future point? But right now, we're hitting the ground running, and he's been to all of our meetings, and we have some task items that he's been doing, and we can have this conversation again if you're okay with it.
All right, so let's move forward. But one thing I think we should do is, would like to revisit this conversation. I know other villages have a board member, a member of the Board of Trustees that is a representative or liaison with the chamber. So for example, when I met with Mayor Pontier Patchogue, they have a trustee who is dedicated to liaising with the chamber. That should be something that we should potentially consider. But I'm just voicing that concern that I'm hearing from the business owners. So, okay. Good points, everybody.
But that is a
My
good
apologies
point.
for
No.
taking the extra time tonight, but let's
I also
move
have
forward.
a question
But
as
that's
to
a
whether
good
the
point.
Chamber of Commerce in the village of Patchogue is a village chamber of commerce. It's not a town chamber of commerce. That's the difference.
But as there, well, we can talk about.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this.
I worked in the village of Patchogue.
Okay. So,
So we have it's been moved and seconded. Are there any motions to amend?
Well, I just have one question I put out in the email about Peter. Peter's a gatekeeper. Is there a conflict there? Did we?
From the village's perspective, I don't believe that there is.
No. Okay. Kimberly, you had asked something too, right? In the email. What was your question that you responded back to with that?
I don't remember. I can pull up my email, though,
I
and
didn't
check.
see that, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, the only thing I think when you have a situation like that, and it was brought up about another potential committee member, is that it's got to be very clear to them that when they are speaking, their expertise, can be valued in working with a committee such as this, but they also have to be cautious of if they stand up at this microphone or they write a letter to the editor or any of those other types of things, that they need to clearly designate who they're representing, because, we are putting forth a name, so in essence, they are a mouthpiece of the village when they are working in this committee. So when they speak, they need to be clear that they are representing the Clean Water on behalf. They're on behalf of the Clean Water Advisory Committee, or that I am speaking separate and apart from the committee that I am on, and I'm right. So that's what's important.
And I think my question was not only that, because we know Peter Topping has incredible experience and offers a tremendous amount of expertise, but he's not a resident of the village, and he may, to your point, speak on behalf of his organization. Yes, you need this versus a resident may say, so does every other village, it's a priority within our capital budget, da-da-da-da. It's just the viewpoint is different, and that's right. The overarching question I have is, these committees are advisory, but what percentage of them should be Southampton residents? And I think to some degree, they should either be, at least half or the majority, because this is our village, and they're advising us. So, or voting members, like, I know at the town on CPF, they have experts like Kevin McDonald and Marty Shea and all these great people, but they don't make the final vote on the recommendation to the town. They come in as an expert from their area. So, we don't want to overcomplicate this. I'm happy that anybody comes to my committee. I'm so excited, I can't even tell you. So,
Okay, so are we ready to vote on this resolution?
Are we?
It's up to you guys.
I am.
All in favor?
We're putting on the rotating basis for,
the Arts Center.
That would be, you would entertain a motion
we would entertain a motion,
to amend
Well,
the resolution to include in the Business Revitalization Committee a representative of the arts community.
Arts and cultural
Well,
community, thank you for bringing that forward.
is there a second on the amendment?
Second.
On a
All in favor?
rotating basis?
On a rotating-
Yes, rotating.
rotating
Yes.
basis.
similar to the
And
circle.
the restaurants
The Surf
also?
Committee, which is
I think they're looking for a member in the restaurant.
wet license.
But you need the
we-
seat, you need the seat.
We need a wet license retail representative, but we have that already we just haven't filled it yet. We already have it in our minutes, in our mission bylaws.
So,
Yeah.
all in favor on the amendment?
Aye.
Right.
All in favor on the underlying resolution?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Russell. We now have comments from board members. We are almost there tonight. Comments from board members. Rich, Trustee Yastrzemski.
Well, good meeting. We did say we we're going to make it a quick one. Well, just happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And again, I thank all the village employees who make the village look phenomenal. And I know we're going to have someone else elaborate more on that. And I just want to say good meeting tonight, good consensus building, a lot of good topics and discussion, and some, again, disagreements, but, coming together and giving and taking. So that was good. I like that. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Just
Trustee Allen?
I'm not going to steal anyone's thunder. I wanted to thank Trustee Parrish and Trustee Polaro for really jumping on that traffic study. I think, when we talked about it, they said, let's do it, and it was done with Gary's help. I don't want to keep bragging about my Business Revitalization Committee. It's not mine, I know, it belongs to the village, but they're so good. And this week, we have an Instagram called visitsouthamptonvillage.org. No laughing.
Just visit Southampton.
Visit southamptonvillage.
.org.
But I don't think it's the businesses. I don't think it's your Instagram account.
Oh, it's not mine.
No, or the bit. I thought we couldn't do that. Sorry, I don't
What
interrupt
is
your
it?
time.
What is it? No.
I think we can discuss that in the
Yeah.
executive session.
But yes, they're doing a great job. But
They're doing a great job getting the message out to the broader community on our upcoming list of events, which the committee had identified was a major gap. There's no one-stop shopping spot, and multi-channels don't exist. Certain people just read the paper, others only go to listen to the radio, and others look at the chamber sign. But fast forwarding, they now have over 350 followers, and who would have thought that our police department, that already gives us such great protection and enhances the quality of this village with our low crime rate, would have been the hit, because they had drone footage of last year's fireworks, and the second that went up there, the whole thing just went viral. So your video footage was the hit of the week, and thank you very much. So with regards...
Thanks, Chief.
Yeah, thanks, Chief. But I think the businesses are working a lot. I'm very, very excited about all the terrific ideas that people bring forward. And we have to figure out how to capture that better. I don't know how to do that. But I do wish everyone a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope peace and joy, whether you're here with your family or away for this wonderful part of the year. So that's it.
Thank you very much. Trustee Parrish.
Thank you. First, DPW, thank you for getting the trees out. They are probably, most of them put and lit by tomorrow. Thank you, gentlemen, for stepping up, and ladies, and getting that all done with the trees and the electric. I want to say the United We Laugh comedy show we had last Thursday at Southampton Cultural Center was a huge success. It was a really great show, and the people that were there really enjoyed it. The comedians that came out were phenomenal. And the conversation that they had in Act 2 with the public was really, really engaging. And I received the email tonight from Jim Banks, who's head of the Anti-Bias Task Force. He said that show will be a model for future shows. So very proud to be there, and it was great. A lot of laughs and a lot of serious, good discussion. So we move on to the window decorating contest, which is going to start on Saturday. And we have probably over 25 stores now, Julie, involved. We still will be adding more, but let's get them lit, let's get them decorated, let's have fun. Mine is just completed tonight, and I am very proud of it, and there are some beautiful ones already. I took a ride to the village last night, and there are a lot of stores that already have lights, and it's going to be great, and I encourage the public to come out this Saturday and be able to walk around this village. And we will have ice sculptures in front of a lot of the village businesses, so that's going to be something for the public to see also. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And, great job on all the hard work that you and others have been doing on the window contest and other things like that. So thank you very much.
Fun. Thank you.
Trustee Bolero.
Thank you. I wanted to just thank Trustee Parrish for the work that he really did with United We Laugh. It was really remarkable. I didn't know what to expect going. And Jim Banks, who was the moderator, was absolutely fantastic. The comedians Richie Byrne, Mark DeMeo, Gina Brillin, and James Goff. Some really hysterical performances, some cringing moments where you knew where it was going and just couldn't get out of the way, and that yet you laughed at the end of it. I can tell you that since Thursday, I've had conversations over and over with other participants, and it just has sparked a lot of different things. So very well done, and thank you for bringing that. And I hope it comes back, as Jim Banks said. I hope it's a model. I hope it comes back again and again, because I do think that more and more people to see it, to really create and start a conversation on it, the more spread it can get. So really, thank you for that. Also want to thank Lisa Finn, who was there covering it for the patch. She'll be doing a write-up on that soon as well. This Saturday, the 30th, as you know, not only will we start the window decorations contest, but it's also the Parade of Lights and the Christmas tree lighting here in Agawam Park, kind of starting at 5:15. Doors will open in the Southampton Cultural Center. I believe we've got then the Parade of Lights starting at 4:45 through kind of downtown. Shortly after that, we will do the tree lighting. Santa will then visit, so he'll have a busy 24th as well as 30th, as well as 14th, and he will be visiting the Southampton Cultural Center after the tree lighting and after the fireworks, which will be going off again this year. Also, as Mark said, there will be ice sculptures that will be done outside Village Hall from 1:30 to 3:30. Professional carvers will be coming in and carving large blocks of ice for all to see. So very excited about that. It's a little twist, a little something new kind of for this year. Lastly, the Southampton Cultural Center that hosted the performance last Thursday also has some upcoming shows that are really great, so we would love as many of the residents, as many as many people really to go down there and support the shows and the actors that are going on. So Friday, the 6th of December, as well as Saturday the 7th, Disney's Frozen Junior will be performed at 7 p.m. on the 6th and 7th, and also having a 3 p.m. matinee on Saturday the 7th. On the 20th and the 21st of December, Freaky Friday the musical will be performed, again, 7 p.m. on the Friday and Saturday, and 2 p.m. On Saturday the 21st. So please, everyone, come down and support. It should be a lot of great fun, and happy Thanksgiving to all.
Thank you very much. Good job, and thank you to Julie as well for all your help organizing and really being a leader on a lot of these events. And so, to conclude our comments from board members, this really goes out to Trustee Allen here, who was very instrumental on our senior committee. There's a senior holiday party on December 12th from 1:30 to 3:30, so everyone should attend, regardless of age or generation, to the senior holiday party. So thank you for all of your help.
Southampton Historical.
That's right, at the Southampton History Museum.
History Museum.
So thank you again for all your efforts there. A couple other quick updates. I've been spending a lot of time speaking with the engineering company, AECom. That's the engineering company that did our first ever pilot program regarding the harvesting of the harmful algae blooms in Lake Agawam. They've also done successful work with Lake Okeechobee and other water bodies in Florida. And then we've also been speaking with Dr. Gobler. We are hoping to move forward with the continuation of this pilot program. We're going to have to work in conjunction with New York State because there is a significant budget in the several millions of dollars that will go with this. But we hope to make this happen. The price tag actually came down to be less than what we expected, and so. I'm holding my breath still because this would be instrumental to do, but there's a lot of legwork that needs to happen in order to make this happen given the budget. But the initial test results came back, and microcystin levels were reduced by approximately 95%, nitrogen levels down into the 90+%. Phosphates down by 90+%, and this was just the algae that was harvested. And so the goal is really to build an infrastructure that can harvest up to 1 million gallons of Lake Agawam water per day. And so this would be instrumental if we can move forward with this. It's going to take a lot of work to make this happen, given the money that it's going to take and all the various parties to come together. So we're working tirelessly to hope to move forward with this. Also spoke to Carrie Gallagher today, our regional head of the DEC, as well as other times this week. So we're really, pedal to the metal here, doing whatever we can to push this forward. And then we've got a meeting with the DEC again in December to update our algae plan. So that's on that front. In the same vein, I actually literally ran into Gary this morning by Old Town Pond, who was working with Nelson, Pope, and Voorhees on another bioswale, potentially by Old Town Pond, which will also help to address the runoff there. And again, business district being a top priority as well. Very, very impressed and with the good work our entire board has been doing with the business district. So a little foreshadowing here. One thing that I think is critical that we address first thing in 2020 is a business improvement district. That's essentially an organization, a legal entity where the landlords get involved. It is very successful in other communities. The landlords then have to decide to potentially reassess themselves. They bring in their own board of directors as well as their own executive director, but then that business improvement district can go and get grant money and other things, and they would be responsible for really helping us augment our already really nice and beautiful business district, but essentially have an organization there. It's very successful. So this is something that we've started to work on, and it's something that is a goal to get done in 2020. So that is something that could be very exciting for the village of Southampton. It hasn't been done here before, obviously, so that's critical. And then lastly, just wanted to mention, I had a great meeting, a lunch meeting today with the Sheriff, Errol Toulon of Suffolk County. Great guy, had some great advice and guidance for us, and we invited him to come to Southampton High School. We'll be in touch with the principal there to speak about what's going on with vaping and just come in. I'm sure a lot of the students would enjoy meeting him as well. And so we also have a Mayors and Supervisors Conference. We'll be hosting it in Southampton. The Mayors and Supervisors Conference is a conference where all the mayors and supervisors gather around on the East End. Our last meeting was in Southold. We've had one in West Hampton, and now it's actually coming to Southampton. Invited the sheriff to join us there. And then this would also be the last Mayors and Supervisors Conference for Mayor Rickenbach of East Hampton, who's retiring. So we wanted to wish him a happy retirement. And so with that said, again, I wanted to thank all of our amazing DPW team for all the hard work with all of the decorations, and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. So that is all from me for tonight. We have a second public comment. It does not look like there's anyone that would like to come forward. So unless, okay, I think we're good. So actually, there might be public comment here.
Coffee with the mayor on Saturday.
Oh, that's right. I'm hosting a meet and greet. Anyone is welcome to join. Public event. Just if anyone would like to get coffee on Saturday morning, and so that anyone could join, and I'll be anyone could reach out for more information on that. So with that said, I would like to make a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purpose of discussing contractual and litigation matters.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.